Hello everyone and welcome back to Banjo-Kazooie on the Nintendo 64? No, ladies and gentlemen, I'm playing this on the Xbox version now because I want to show off the new items that we saw at the very end of the credits in the previous part. These are the stop and swap items. And what is stop and swap, ladies and gentlemen, you might be wondering? Well, stop and swap is a feature that was originally planned to be in the original Banjo-Kazooie, and these items were originally accessible in the N64 version. However, you were only able to collect these collectibles in the N64 version by using cheat codes. That you can see them on the top of the screen as I collect these items. And Stop and Swap was originally meant to be a sort of like mechanic similar to Sonic 3 and Knuckles, in which case you could combine the cartridges of Sonic 3 and Sonic and Knuckles to unlock more content. And that's basically all it was. And the way it worked was basically you collect all these eggs in the original N64 game, Banjo-Kazooie, and then when you went back to Banjo-Tooie, you'd be able to hot swap the cartridges out, which, if those of you don't know what hot swapping is, basically you leave the power of the console on and then you unplug one of the cartridges and quickly jam in the second cartridge, and you'll be able to transfer certain things across the games, you know, like these items for example. And due to hardware revisions at Nintendo when this game was in development, the Nintendo 64 wasn't able to actually do this anymore. Because after a certain point, the N64 held... Well, at first, the N64 held RAM for about 10 seconds after a cartridge was unplugged. However, that actually got removed in later revisions in order to replace it with a single second. So there isn't enough time for Rareware to actually pull this off, which kind of ended things for stop and swap, you know. In the Xbox Live version, as you can tell, the stop and swap has been re-added. And if you do activate these N64 codes in the N64 version, you aren't actually able to collect these items a second time. You will only be able to collect them the first time because of the way that Rareware programmed the game, you know. Basically, if they didn't program it so these items saved to a save file, they made these items so they saved to the entire cartridge, and you can't wipe an entire cartridge. So, unfortunately, if you collect these items in the N64 version, it's a one and done deal. But basically, in the Xbox Live version, all this stuff has been re-added and all this functionality returns. And when you go to Banjo-Tooie, for the most part, these things unlock like extra moves and stuff, which are in the original version of the N64. But I'll go talk about that a bit more when I get to the N64 version of Banjo-Tooie, because that's later down the line. However, it also gives us a lot of things like extra gamer tags and whatnot on the Xbox as well. I had a weird feeling that Rareware, when they first developed this, had a massive idea in mind with this, because I got a weird feeling that each of these eggs that they have in this game were meant to collect a load of extra items down the line, you know, folks? And yeah, that's basically all there is. It's quite annoying that they never really fully done the functionality of this, so I'm collecting all these items and I don't really need to. You don't get anything for collecting these items other than the fact you have an extra fancy stop and swap screen in your totals menu, but you know, I like to show them off. You know, not many playthroughs actually show off these items in their full glory for some reason, so yeah, the last one of these is in Nabnut's thingy what's it here. And there we go, we got all 7 stop and swap items. Now, basically the characters say around the same things as they do when you collect them in the original game, if I recall correctly. The difference is they replaced Banjo-Tooie with Banjo-Kazooie nuts and bolts, because that was the in thing, in quotations, at the time, you know. But, yeah, with that done, we're moving on back to the N64 version of Banjo-Kazooie because, well, we got one last thing to do in this game, folks. We got one last additional thing I'm yet to show off, so in we go. I feel sorry for that cat I landed on, but this is taking place after we beat the game, as you can tell by the fact I have double health bar. And we're gonna be all the way back to Banjo's house, because there is actually a mini-game I am yet to show off. Well, if you guys know Banjo-Tooie, you've got this mini-game between every level, where you have to perform this jigsaw puzzle in order to access each of the levels, right? not too many people know that, at least as far as I can tell, that this minigame was actually originally in the original Banjo-Kazooie. In fact, we're going to play it, because this minigame is inside Banjo's house. And plus I want to show off the interior of his house a little bit anyway, because it's a nice little cozy little place. I'd love to live in here. Look at this, it's a neat little house. I like it. I like it. But anyway, there's Banjo's fish by here that likes to knock on the glass if he... There he is. There you go. Hello, how you doing? And you can get a better close-up view of that fungi forest picture that I pointed out way earlier on in the LP. There it is, Banjo and Fungi Forest. But anyway, you might be wondering, what am I on about here? Where's this puzzle you're on about? Well, basically, you want to look at Bottles' face, and Bottles will go, "Well, hey, you found my secret moving picture game. Complete this puzzle, and you're going to earn mystery prizes." And I believe there's 7. There's either 6 or 7 of these puzzles you can go through. I'm not going through them all. At all. I am not going through all these. I'm not good at jigsaw puzzles, and I'd rather not have the effort. But basically, you pick up the pieces holding the A button, you press the B button to let go of pieces, and you press C button left and right in order to rotate these pieces. And basically all you need to do is fill out the jigsaw puzzle. The puzzle moves, and you basically need to put all of the jigsaws in the right slots, you know? As you'd expect, it's best to go on the outskirts and then go indoors. You know, I shouldn't have to explain how to do a jigsaw puzzle to you guys. But it is always best to go outside and then in. And sort of like circle your way around. Although I know there's some people out there who like to do it backwards and they like to do the inside pieces before doing the outside pieces. And those people are insane. But it's a jigsaw puzzle. What can I say? What can I say? I guess the biggest issue with this though will be just seeing what you're doing, and the controls are surprisingly stiff for this. You know, ladies and gentlemen, they're not perfect. So it's a neat little challenge you can do. Well, I don't know when this unlocks, but it's a neat little challenge you can do to gain a little bit of extra content for the game. Because doing this, as Bottles will explain to us right now, we'll get cheat codes that we can use. For example, there we go. He's going to give us the cheat code, Bottles bonus 1. And that's basically a big head mode. And we're going to get loads of cheat codes going all the way up to Balls bonus 5, Balls bonus 6, Balls bonus... Actually, there's no Balls bonus 7. The 7th one you get is a special cheat code called Wishy Washy Banjo. But I'm not gonna spoil any of these cheat codes because they're all really bonus things that don't really do anything to the game. You know, they're just there. And it's a nice little side distraction you can do, you know. If you want to go out of your way to do it, go ahead, you know. This isn't going to be a guide to doing this, because like I said, I'm awful at jigsaw puzzles. And I'm only really going to show about 3 of these off, out of the 7. So, if you want to try these out for yourself, get the game yourself. Or watch someone else's LP when they've done this, but... that would be endorsing other people, wouldn't it? And I can't be having that in my YouTube commentary, oh no. It's all about me. Me. Anyway, you'll know if you place the jigsaw puzzle in the wrong place because instead of having ding noise, it'll make a banana noise. So you'll know if you've done it wrong, if you've done it bad. But just placing these jigsaw pieces in the right place can be awkward sometimes, just because I have a trouble seeing the edges of the jigsaw puzzles, and I entirely blame the N64 graphics for that, because it is a little bit jagged, so I do have a bit of issues every now and then trying to tell, oh, where's the corners, where should these go, and just placing these items down can be quite awkward at points, you know? So just be careful, keep at it, eventually you'll get them done. I'm only going to show off until we have to start rotating them, and then I'm going to stop, because these do get very difficult very fast and very frustrating, if I do say so myself, because the time limit gets tighter and tighter. And it just becomes a bit of a pain, you know? Every time you complete a level, just look up to the picture again and you'll be able to attempt another one. And like I said, after the second attempt, all these pictures will start to rotate around. So then you need to rotate everything to make sure you're pointing everything in the right place. For example, this one's meant to be going on the bottom left. Lord knows what I'm doing right now. That's bottom left. Come on, past me. There we go. There we go. There we go. So it's a very fun, easy minigame, but it's also challenging in its own right in terms of if this didn't have, if this was like a real jigsaw puzzle and it didn't have a time limit, I think it wouldn't be that bad a distraction. I'd like to do it a lot more, you know. I'd like to play through this and just see what's what, but because of the fact it is timed, because of the fact it is really stress-inducing, I'm not too big a fan of this, you know, accomplishing this multiple times. I don't mind it in Banjo-Kazooie when we have to do this, but that's because they made it easier. So, I'm not very good at jigsaws. What can I say, ladies and gentlemen? It goes at the top, you idiot. The top, you idiot. Oh my god, I'm awful. The top, for Christ's sake, it looks like a... It's grey. The rest of the route, well, now the whole room's green. There we go. Ugh. But yeah, that's all she wrote. And I don't know, I kinda like these, just as a side distraction, but I wouldn't want a game of these, you know? Although I'm surprised Microsoft haven't done these like a mini games, they just made a bunch of random ones and just chucked them up on the Xbox Live Marketplace. You know, you think something like this would be pretty much easy money for Microsoft. Or any game studio really, because it's a pretty easy thing to develop, I assume, so... You know, make a jigsaw game. Why? No, people like jigsaws. I like jigsaws. I probably wouldn't buy the game, mind you, but the people probably would. The market, the gaming market, in the grand scheme of things, is in dire need of jigsaw puzzles. Yes. What am I talking about? It's the left, you fool. There we go. It's a little bit tricksy, you know, I'm not gonna lie. It can be quite frustrating. But anyway, that's basically it for this now, ladies and gentlemen. So when we return next, well, it's the end of the LP, I'm done. No, there's no next time. What am I talking about? But I am going to be showing off an ending cutscene that you get if you die during the main course of the game. So thank you all for watching. Hope you all enjoyed. Don't be sheepish, people. And I'll catch you all in a different LP at a different time. Thanks for watching. See you after. Don't be sheepish. Bye!
Yo,